substance abuse can take control of someone's entire life, and throughout history, many have faced painful addictions. Various celebrities, historical figures, and politicians have walked the path of recovery. Here are 12 celebrities who have struggled with addiction. Number 1. Zac Efron. The pressures of fame and constant media attention pushed Zac Efron towards alcohol and drugs as a means to cope. Things got increasingly more chaotic in his personal life until he felt like he had no choice but to go to rehab in 2013. He has been clean ever since and attributes his health and fitness to his sober lifestyle. He encourages those considering sobriety to focus on all the rewards it brings. Number 2. Angelina Jolie. The actress has admitted that her use of illicit narcotics was due to her own deep-seated issues that have affected her since her teens. Jolie has also admitted to self-harming as a means of relieving the feelings of emptiness and loss. Jolie has never delved deeply into the specifics of her struggles, but given her fame and success, it is not hard to imagine the stress. At number 3, Kit Harrington. In an interview with the Sunday Times, the Game of Thrones star candidly discussed his issues with alcohol and addiction. "I went through some pretty horrible stuff," Kit explained, referencing his very intense periods of depression. "Things that have happened to me since Thrones ended, and that were happening during Thrones, were of a pretty traumatic nature, and they did include alcohol," said Harrington. At 4, Kate Moss. Once famous for her love of a good party, one of the world's most famous supermodels now avoids drinking entirely. That's not to say Kate now spends her evenings sat at home working on her knitting. She's still regularly spotted at events with a mocktail in hand. Coming in at 5, Robert Downey Jr. The actor says he used drugs before he was a teenager and spent most of his early career under their influence. He had several high-profile arrests in the late 1990s and early 2000s. In 2002, he announced that he had recovered, and Marvel's 2008 movie Iron Man revived his stalled career. At 6, we have Demi Lovato. According to Lovato, she was 17 years old on family-friendly TV when she first used cocaine. As her singing career took off, so did her problems with drugs and alcohol. In 2010, she first sought treatment for addiction, along with mental health issues including bipolar and eating disorders. She has addressed her ongoing recovery in interviews, on social media, and in her music. At number 7, Daniel Radcliffe. The star of the Harry Potter franchise is another young actor for whom sudden wealth and fame brought personal problems. He says he drank a lot during the filming of the last 3 Potter films and finally realized it was something he couldn't control. He says he quit after the last film wrapped and continues to work on his recovery. Number 8, Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey began drinking daily and independently from an extremely young age. Her parents even resorted to sending her to a boarding school outside of New York City to break her out of her cycle. It initially didn't work, and she actually ended up using drugs as well as abusing alcohol. But after some time in an outreach program at just 14 years old, she was able to maintain consistent sobriety. Number 9, Bradley Cooper. He's been nominated for several Academy Awards, but the actor went through some hard times on his way to success. He says years of drug and alcohol misuse threatened to ruin his life, and in 2004, at the age of 29, he made the decision to stop using them. He's since become one of Hollywood's most bankable leading men. Coming in at 10, Kristen Davis. Kristen Davis first began to seek treatment for addiction at the age of just 22, fearing that at the pace she was going, she wouldn't make it to 30. She craved being numb to her feelings, and alcohol provided what she mistakenly thought was the perfect solution. The only thing that saved her was acting, the one thing more important to her than her addiction. It gave her the motivation she needed to quit, and she hasn't looked back since. At 11, we have Drew Barrymore. She made headlines in 1989 by going to rehab at just 13 and announcing she was an addict. She came from a famously troubled acting family and was 6 when the movie E.T. launched her career. She says she started drinking when she was 9 and quickly moved on to heavier substances. She spent her teenage years trying to overcome her notoriety and has since enjoyed success as an actress and producer. And finally, number 12, Elton John. The critically acclaimed musician admitted that he became dependent on alcohol and drugs to help cope with the pressures of fame. The AIDS crisis inspired the singer to address his addictions. He sought treatment in 1990 and established the Elton John AIDS Foundation 2 years later. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to subscribe by clicking on the channel icon. For more entertainment content, check out some of our other videos.